Raucous. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
Guys, what's up, my archfiends of chaos? This is your King and I, Vincent Valentine EX Turk, with another Final Fantasy segment. And I'm sorry we're going back to 7 again, but it's just something has occurred to me now with the interview about Sephiroth. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I think I've already done it, but I guess I'm just going to be adding on to that same subject I had before. But will Sephiroth be completely retconned, like his backstory and what he is? Now, with the Tetsuo Nomura interview I did, like, whenever that was going on, when they said Sephiroth's possibly going to have a black one wing, just like in Advent Children. He's going to be pretty much like the Advent Children Sephiroth, but still regular Sephiroth, and Sephiroth is going to be the main focus. So, not to say we're not going to get Jenova, but Jenova is not going to be a big part of the game like Sephiroth is. So, this could be a change in the next step. Maybe in this version, in this retcon version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe he finds out Lucretia was his mother or something like that. Because if they're going to retcon the whole thing and make Crisis Core not canon anymore, or before Crisis, it could be possible that they're planning to rewrite Final Fantasy VII as a whole. As a whole. But Jenova would still have something in this in this canon, because, well, soldiers' cells come from her, and you take away Jenova, you're gonna really pretty much piss in the face of the Final Fantasy fan base and fanboys, because she's a big part. But I think what they're trying to do is make Sephiroth a bigger part than before. But we don't know what they can do. There could be so many pathways they take with Sephiroth. They could be taking a lot with Sephiroth. I think there's one possibility he could already have the black materia in this new retcon version and he's somewhat alive. Or maybe Sephiroth is going to have complete control of the life stream and not through via Jenova. Maybe he is part of the life stream. There could be so many possibilities how they can retcon Sephiroth that, or something. I don't know. There's could be so. Now, this could be a good and bad thing. Bad thing is, if you're looking for the original Final Fantasy VII, like the original content that was already there, that was already doing stuff in the first place, then you're going to be out of luck on that, because they're planning to change the Final Fantasy VII Remake completely. They're going to be changing this completely. I have to repeat so people know. But they're planning to completely change Final Fantasy VII Remake. The good news is this could be also a good possibility for Lucretia Crescent to be teased earlier and be part of the original story. Without needing Dirge Cerberus. Vince is going to be part of the game because he's a fan favorite, just like Yuffie is. But this could also make Vincent Valentine have more, like, this could also make Vincent Valentine, a non-optional main character for the party. The mandatory, character for the party, because if they're going to tease it like this, it could be possible they could throw Lucretia's story and make it bigger. Make it bigger in how Sephiroth was conceived and everything, and how Sephiroth was raised by Hojo in the lab, and all this stuff. This could take a lot. This could take a whole bunch of different ideas and different roads, which, obviously going to make Sephiroth a lot eviler, of course, because this is a remake, and, well, after we've seen Arden in Final Fantasy 15, I think that's the archetype they're going to want for Sephiroth, except for at least Sephiroth's final battle, boss battle, will be at least a little bit more challenging than Arden. But so, which begs the questions: is it possible to actually have Sephiroth's forms after he fuses with Genova, such as Bizarro Sephiroth and Safer Sephiroth? Are those two things gonna be in the remake? I mean, I kind of hope so because, well, those were Sephiroth, But I have a feeling with this retcon version, we're gonna be fighting Sephiroth more. Like this time, Sephiroth's just not gonna escape. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be 2 times in the first first half of the game. You're gonna have to fight Sephiroth as Cloud. You get separated from your party, and you're gonna have to face Sephiroth, which means you're probably got to do a lot of grinding. Since they're gonna rechange the story, you're gonna have to do a lot of grinding that's so crazy. Because if they're gonna make you, it looks like what they're trying to do is they're trying to go through the Final Fantasy 13 2. They're trying to go through the Final Fantasy 13 2 way of telling a story, because in Final Fantasy 13-2, you had to fight Caius through the whole game. Yes, he ended up being the final boss, but you actually had to fight Caius through, no henchmen, no nothing except for other bosses that have nothing to do with the main story. Well, except for the fact you're helping people get rid of, paradox things in the timeline. I think they're going to do that with Sephiroth. I think most likely Sephiroth, you're going to have to end up fighting like Caius. Like, there's going to be the first battle with Sephiroth is going to be extremely hard, because at this point you'd be low level, unless you are a smart Final Fantasy player and know you have to grind to get to the next area. There's just no way of getting around it. You're gonna have to pull up YouTube on your phone or laptop, kill a few monsters, or at least in Final Fantasy VII, since most of it's gonna take place in Midgar. A bunch of Shinra infantrymen and dreadnoughts. You're just going to have to kill a whole bunch of them until you get to the level fights. But nonetheless, there could be so many paths that they could be taken with Sephiroth. They could be taken a lot. Or maybe Sephiroth remembers the stuff that happened in Crisis Core and wants retribution. Because remember, Sephiroth also lost his memory when he came back. Not only in his spirit Genova, and not only when he was Genova's and what I call spirit Sephiroth, Ghost Sephiroth. Not only when he was Ghost Sephiroth, but even when he was the real Sephiroth that got the black materia from Cloud, he didn't have his complete memories. I know Crisis Core is not going to be canon, but I should say maybe that era, the Nibelheim. I'm gonna call it the Nibelheim Burning Arc. The Nibelheim Burning Arc is still going to be canon, even if Crisis Core is no longer canon. It just be changed a lot. So I think it's safe to say that this version of Sephiroth is going to remember all this, and this version of Sephiroth is going to be evil because he's going to be revenge driven. He's going to want he's going to want Cloud's blood. Even more than he did in the original game. And also Shinra's too, which I don't know what they're gonna do when Shinra massacre thing happens, because in the original game there was a lot of blood on the floor, so I don't know what they're gonna be able to do for the remake, because more likely you're gonna have to get that censored. I don't know, maybe see a few dead people, but from what I've seen in the trailer, there's not gonna be no blood because this is made by Unreal Engine, so. And if they did put blood, it had to be M-rated. Of course. It had to be like Type 0. It'd be like another Type 0. Except I kind of hope they don't go for political correctness. Because Type 0, the problem with Type 0 is it's a good game. But they censored Emina, and I actually looked up research on why they censored the bikini thing. It's due to political correct reasons. And this is where I have problem with political correctness when it comes to that stuff. So, again, I don't think it's possible. And even if they could have blood in Final Fantasy VII, they won't be able to do everything. Let's just say for Coastal Del Rey, you get a Tifa, a bikini version of Tifa. Most likely it'd be probably cut out. And I don't know if they're gonna keep in or cut out the Wall Market arc. Do the political correctness. I know this is a separate thing, but it just if they do blood, if they turn this into an M-rated game, this is why it's related to the subject. If they turn this into an M-rated game due to the Sephiroth massacre, it'd just only be M-rated because of blood. because most likely, because we're in the new era of gaming, let's just say political correctness, it has the power to make money. You know, the more PC oriented you are, even though ironically, even though it's funny because, well, Final Fantasy VII is kind of diverse. I mean, you got the leader of Avalanche is, the leader of Avalanche is a black guy. And Tifa is a badass female character almost any female could look up to. It's like, come on, man. But anyways, without that distraction, I think it's possible there could be so many twists and turns. Now, I'm not going to say the twists and turns because I don't know every single twist and turns. This is just only prediction and discussion. But we know one thing. Sephiroth will be completely retconned. So let me know in the comments below of what you think is going to happen. Let me know in the comments what you think's gonna happen, how they're gonna retcon Sephiroth, and how they're gonna make it play right in the story. Is this gonna be before or during Rufus Shinra's battle with Cloud, or after? We don't know. This is a complete remake, so we don't know what's gonna happen. This is only a prediction and speculation. So may the crystal be with you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Falconi for providing the music, the Final Fantasy VII One Winged Angel intense symphonic metal cover, you know. So subscribe to Falcon which I just put a link there because the YouTube name is kind of, well, funny. So I'll just put a link to the music. So may the crystal be with you.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, rep the set, gotta rep the set, chase a chick, never chase a bitch,